Hi folks, welcome back to BBQTalk.ca series of how-to cooking videos. After our last video there, the smoked chicken lasagna, I had a number of requests come in asking if we would do a video on beef ribs. And I actually went out around the net and I took around. There really aren't that many beef rib videos out there, as well as a lot of people are disappointed. They've tried them and they've just not been very successful. We have beef ribs 2 or 3 times a month in my house, and these things turn out phenomenally every single time. So I thought I'd take a couple of minutes here and we'll do a beef rib video for sure. And hopefully when you guys try it, it comes out every bit as good the way we're going to do it. So here's what we got. We've got a full rack of beef ribs. We're going to get them out of the package. Now we're going to do things just a little bit differently. If we go out on a big cater or a big event, and I mean when we do a big event, I'm talking, we'll do 200, 300, 400 pounds of these things all at the same time. We cook them, or we prep them slightly different. The cooking method never changes. The cooking method is always the same and very consistent. But what we're going to do at home here, or for small parties, is I'm going to cut these into individual bones. I like the more seasoning penetration. I get an extra side on that. I get an extra side when I put them on the barbecue that gets flavor that if they're all together they wouldn't. Again, it's not feasible to do it when I'm doing it 200-300 pounds at a time, but when I'm cooking them at home or for family and friends or for small caters, I'm going to cut them into bones. Beautiful rack of ribs, nice amount of fat on it, good looking, lots of meat on top of them. This is a 7-bone rack. That's the only kind we buy is the 7 bones. They do have a layer of membrane on the back. It's a little tougher to remove. Because I cut these into individual bones, I'm not going to worry about it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to score that back lightly because these are going into individual bones. So you know what? I don't worry about taking it off. The scoring is going to be simple enough to remove any of the toughness from them. So go ahead, get yourself some beef ribs. It's a very simple process. And then just follow down the middle of each rack, each bone, and separate them. It's easy to see. Got meat on both sides, and that's what I mean. If you don't want to leave it in the rack whole, you know what? I wouldn't be able to season that side, and it makes a big difference. We'll go ahead and we'll continue on cutting these up. They get a little shorter as you go down the row. They also get a little bit thicker. Watch where you buy them. I've seen these things where, there's no meat on top of the bone whatsoever. This is a good rack. So be careful when you're picking them that you get a nice healthy piece. And I think that one right there will be mine. Okay, so we've got those all separated. This is easy, guys. We're going to season them real quick and we're going to put them in the oven. You can do them on the barbecue. I love them on the barbecue. I love them equally in the oven. And that's the way we're going to do today. So the only different thing that you would do, to rinse off my hands, the only thing different you would do depends on where you're going to take them. Right now, our seasoning blend, this is fresh rosemary. We grow it out in the garden, and all I do in the fall is I snip off the entire branch, throw all the branches into a couple of grocery bags and right into the freezer. And when I go to use it a month or 2 later, the leaves have already fallen off. If you could smell it, it's just an amazing smell right now. So it's just like they came off fresh. Bunch of olive oil. Okay, we want a nice liquid rub. Okay, and then I'm going to put in a bunch of kosher salt. Okay, that'll give a nice little crust to it. And then we'll throw in some black pepper. And this is going to create a nice crust on the outside of these ribs. So go ahead, mix that around. Okay, a little more olive oil. It's going to help flavor the jus that's in the bottom of the pan as well. Okay, looking good like that. That's about the consistency that I'm looking for. So that's where I tossed them initially. Basically, we're just going to lay them out in this pan. Okay, kind of so they're not touching. They might have to. These are pretty big. You get the point. That's what we're going to do. And I'm just going to take each one of these individually. Nice little rub them on top of each other. Get all the sides. Don't worry about the bottom. You ain't going to eat that piece anyway. Look at that. Beautiful. Make sure you get all that salt in there. Okay, all the way around. See how I get all the sides there? That's what I'm talking about. A little more, 2 more to go. Beautiful. Now I am a big rosemary fan, especially when it comes out of the oven. I love what it does. It gets caramelized, that blended with the salt and the olive oil, and it really, really gives a wonderful, wonderful flavor to these beef ribs. Okay, that's it for prepping the ribs themselves. The only thing extra that we've got to do is we've got to put something in the bottom of the pan. These are going to cook for a long time. Don't want the pan to burn. We want a little bit of jus at the end of the day. So I'm just going to add some beef broth, enough to cover the bottom. You'll have to check it once or twice through the cooking time to make sure the pan doesn't go dry on you. Even if it does, doesn't matter. Add some more. It'll give you some nice scrapings to add into the jus. I'm going to add, what do we got here? I'm going to add a Shiraz wine for some flavor. About a cup. Okay. And I'm going to give just a little more because I didn't put a whole lot of salt. I'm going to give a little more salt on the top. One last crack of black pepper. All the way through. That's it. I'm done. I'm not going to touch them. I'm not going to cover them. They're going to go into the oven at 250 degrees. If I was going to do them on the smoker, I'd do it the exact same way. Nothing changes at this point except where you're going to cook them. So in the oven at 250 degrees, they're going to be in there for at least 5 or 6 hours until I see the meat really shrink up, pull back off the bone. These are going to turn out dark and sticky and caramelized and with great beef flavor. They're an amazing dinner. Be patient. You can't rush these things. There's no temperature tell when they're done. They're done when they're done, shrunk back on the bone, and man, they're delicious. There's nothing else you need to do. I'll take a picture or video halfway through the cooking process and we'll show you how we're coming along. There you go, folks. Beef ribs. Put them on your menu. Okay guys, real quick little potato dish to go along with the ribs. I just chopped up some potatoes, threw in a 9x13 casserole dish. A little bit of coarse salt. A little bit of pepper. And take some olive oil on top of that. Nice little drizzle of olive oil. And coat them real well. Don't want them to stick to the bottom of the pan. Some margarine or butter, whatever you have. Okay. Now you could put some herbs on there. Some rosemary would be good. Rosemary roasted potatoes are excellent. I've already got a lot of rosemary on our beef today, on our beef ribs, so I'm not going to overdo it, overkill it with rosemary. But I do love oven roasted potatoes. These are going to go in the oven about 350. For about 1 hour until they're golden brown. Got that nice firm exterior on them. That'll all melt down. 1 hour, 350, you're good to go. There's your potatoes. Okay, we're just about done. You can see the meat pulling back on the bones. Okay, that's exactly what we want to see. These things are just about ready. Look at the color. Look at how rich that looks. Just beautiful. Pretty soon. Okay folks, here we are. It's about 6 hours later. There's our ribs. You can see the seasoning all the way around. They've pulled up nicely on the bone. It's exactly what we're looking for. Some nice roasted potatoes in there. Those are the oven roasted ones. Nice color. Nice firm flesh on the outside. Now normally, you would go ahead and slap some greenery on this side of the plate, but I think instead I'm going to do that, and that'll be my plate right there. Now there's lots of jus in the bottom. Add just a little to the top. That's that broth and wine, and then all the flavor and drippings from the beef ribs themselves. Check it out. Isn't that beautiful? That's how you do beef ribs, folks. It doesn't matter if you do them on the barbecue, do them in your oven like I did. follow that same method. They'll turn out great. We're going to finish ours off with some chocolate and strawberry dessert wine afterwards. Another video from BBQTalk.ca series of how-to videos. Thanks for watching. If you like our videos, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Take care, folks. Until next time, be well.